Saturday, 31st January, 10:30 p.m. Dear viewers, hello and welcome. You're still watching us on ERi-TV, presenting you the domestic and international news prepared for this session, live from our headquarters in Asmara. I'm Harmel Agarmai, inviting you to join us on our tonight's news broadcast. Let's start with the major headlines. Activity Assessment Meeting of Ministry of Education. Rehabilitation of disadvantaged citizens in Sha'ab. Iran announces live fire naval drills near U.S. warships amid tensions. And more than 200 killed in mine collapse in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. On your domestic and brief. The Ministry of Education conducted an activity assessment meeting for 2025 and discussed its action plan for 2026. At the meeting, which was attended by heads of departments and units, representatives of Eritrean schools in Sudan, as well as representatives of the UNESCO office, a detailed report was presented focusing on activities implemented in 2025 and the action plan for 2026. According to the reports presented, over 35,000 adults, including 89% females, were registered for adult education, of whom 76% successfully complemented their education out of the 70,349 students who sat for the 8th grade national examination. 68.8% scored passing marks. Over 700 students graduated from technical, agricultural, and music schools with certificate programs, and a 5-year strategic plan was designed. The reports also indicated that shortages of human resources and facilities were among the main challenges encountered. The participants conducted extensive discussions on the reports presented and adopted various recommendations, including the preparation of research papers and the strengthening of cultural, history, and language training programs for students, among others. Speaking on the occasion, Mrs. Halima Mohammed, Ministry of Education, said that the assessment meeting would make a significant contribution to identifying strengths and challenges, thereby preserving the achievements registered and addressing shortcomings. Minister Halima further stated that the education sector is one of the priority development programs of the government of Eritrea. She added that enhancing teachers' capacity, strengthening relations with government institutions and stakeholders, and aligning resources for the development of the teaching-learning process are among the priority tasks of the ministry. The Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare branch in the Sha'ab subzone has rehabilitated 30 disadvantaged citizens by providing them with livestock. Each beneficiary received livestock worth 10,000 nakfa. Mr. Ismail Osman, representative of the office branch, said that the program was part of the efforts to enable disadvantaged citizens and families of martyrs to improve their livelihoods and become productive members of the society. Indicating that the rehabilitation program has been conducted in all administrative areas of the subzone, Mr. Jabra Idris, head of the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare in the subzone, called on beneficiary families to properly care for the livestock provided to them. A 2-month practical and theoretical training on dancing has been provided to 40 youth in Zorona. The training was organized in collaboration with the Culture and Sports Office and the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students branch in the subzone. Mr. Omar Mohammed Yassin, head of the Culture and Sports in the subzone, reported that the training was part of the efforts to enhance and preserve the cultures of the ethnic groups in the subzone. Noting that the training was a continuation of efforts to develop cultural and artistic activities in the region, Mr. Abraham Yohannes, Director General of Culture and Sports in the Southern region, called for the promotion of traditional dances that have centuries of history and are part of the country's intangible heritage. Similarly, the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students in Zorona subzone provided training in workwood and beauty salon skills to 61 youth in the subzone. The concluding event of the training featured cultural and artistic programs performed by the trainees. Dear viewers, stay tuned for our international news right after the short break. Welcome back. Iran has announced a two-day live-fire naval exercise in the Strait of Hormuz, which are set to begin on Sunday after the U.S. deployed the aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln and other U.S. military assets to the Middle East. The U.S. Military Central Command has issued a warning to Iran's army, saying it will not tolerate unsafe maneuvers such as flights over U.S. warships, including the approach of Iranian speedboats on a collision course with U.S. ships. More than 200 people have been reported killed in a collapse at the Rubaya coltan mine in Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo, Lumumba Kambare Muyusa, spokesperson for the rebel-appointed governor of the province where the mine is located, told the Reuters news agency. The mine, located some 60 km northwest of Goma City, the provincial capital of the North Kivu province, collapsed on Wednesday, and the precise number of casualties was still unclear. As of Friday evening, Reuters reported. More than 200 people were victims of this landslide, including minors, children, and market women. Some people were rescued just in time and have serious injuries, Muyisa told Reuters, adding that about 20 injured people were being treated in health facilities. In other news, Mozambique and Total Energies agreed on Thursday to relaunch construction of the French energy major's $20 billion liquefied natural gas project in the country, even as they continue negotiations over the additional costs linked to delays. Construction was halted in 2021 following Islamist militant attacks in the northern province of Cabo Delgado, where the project is located. Total Energies, which has taken extra equity with its partners after some backers pulled out, said late last year it was ready to resume work. Total Energies, the project operator and leading shareholders, said it would provide 200 million meticals to help Mozambique deal with the effects of recent flooding. With capacity to produce 13 million metric tons of liquefied natural gas annually, the project is expected to make Mozambique a major gas exporter and to transform the poor African nation's economy when it comes online. Dear viewers, we are done with the news prepared for this session, and now it's time for a quick recap of the major headlines. Activity Assessment Meeting of Ministry of Education. Rehabilitation of disadvantaged citizens in Sharb. Iran announces live-fire naval drills near U.S. warships amid tensions. And more than 200 killed in mine collapse in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Ladies and gentlemen, that was all for tonight. Thank you for having us and have a blessed one.